and understand that it can come and go. I mean, if you shut that faucet off, that spigot will dry up, and it is hard to turn that back on. I will guarantee you that. I've done it myself. Sometimes I ask myself, how did I even do this? How did I even get going? But then all of a sudden I get going, and my phone's ringing, and a lot of it has to do with your mental state. Mm-hmm. The way you are projecting your energy. So we're going to share some videos right now, and I want to talk about a couple things first before I get into that video. So I believe that we are born with success. I started thinking about this. It's when we were young, there's no mountain I can't climb. Right? I'm a dreamer when I'm young. And I feel like I can do anything. Right? And you usually do. And even if you get knocked around, you get back up. It's not until we become older that people start influencing our way of thinking. And then that's when we are limited by someone else's beliefs. So you can't get into listening to the, everyone keeps telling you this. Don't listen to the news. Don't listen, Because if you did, you'd have no hope. You can't do that. You got to realize that things are still going on right now. Things are still selling. So I challenge you to come out. Now, I'll tell you the other thing that happens is that, I mentioned this the other day, my son who's going to the University of Utah, his roommate is going to be a neurosurgeon. And as they were traveling back from their vacation, the kid was playing a podcast. And my son shared that podcast with me because there is a neurological part of your brain that can't get going if you shut off. So if you check out, it's not your fault. And I can say, just do it. Just show up. All you got to do is do it. You're in your brain saying, I can't. I don't know how. I don't want to. You have to take a baby step in to the work world again. So I challenge you to show up to something. Show up to these meetings. Show up to the office again. Go back to work. And even if you don't have anything to do, because I know you're going to be thinking that if you're not doing anything, why am I going to go in there? I got nothing to do. Doesn't matter. Because the energy that's around you will change your outlook on what's going on. I'm telling you. So, does our mind play tricks on us? Does our mind affect us? 3 years ago, my wife got COVID. I had COVID, my wife got COVID. And this was the first strain. I swear to you, I thought my wife was going to die. I'm not kidding. I looked at her, I thought she was going to die. She was sick for 3 months. 3 months, not 2 weeks. And guess what was on the news when this first strain came out? Thousands of people are dying. I looked at my wife, who I'm supposed to protect. She's dying. And you know what the doctor says? Don't come in. Don't come in. What do? There's no medicine. Just watch him die. So luckily, I had a doctor friend of mine. He says, bring her by the office. Bring her by the office. He does a chest x-ray on her. He says, you're lucky. He goes, sweetie, you're fine. There's nothing wrong with you. 2 weeks later, she was better.
Oh my God. Psychological.
She was killing herself mentally because she was watching the news 24/7. And I'm not kidding. I swear to you, She was dying. So the mind is a powerful instrument. You don't need the strategy if you don't have the mindset. So that's what we're going to get into. You're going to ask yourself, it's possible. That's what you'll say for someone else. That's first stage. It's possible, but not for me, for someone else. Because you think I can't do that. So that's one stage. Second stage, it's possible. It's possible for me, but how? That's the other stage you get into. I can see it, it's possible, but how do I do it? And the third stage is, it's inevitable. It's inevitable that that's going to happen to me. That's where you want to be. I know that this is going to happen to me. So you have to convince yourself, you have to visualize this. So if it's money that you truly want, for example, you have to visualize, before you go to bed, you need to visualize that you're getting that check. Okay? And you have to then visualize how that money is going to impact your life. Because if you don't have this visualization, and you say, Ken, I don't get what you're talking about. But I guarantee you, here, raise your hand if you've ever visualized something you wanted, whether it was a watch, whether it was a car, whether it was owning a home. Raise your hand if you hadn't wished it, dreamed it, wanted it. Raise your hand if that's something you... Brandon, share with me something that maybe